Hi everyone. So this is my second video for the night. It's not really a video. It's more like an audio. I'll actually place this on YouTube later after this first video that I made about rage baiting and narcissistic content creators. Okay. So I wanted to actually just sorry about the fan and everything that's blowing in the background, but I want to make this video about something in the way of like two dreams that I had. And I know that this is something that I've been talking about over the last few days and even over this last week, because I've been tussling with the issue of dreams. Why do we have these dreams? Not just dreams that we have in our sleep, but even like dreams in the sense of aspirations. And as I've actually already said, our dreams as in ambitions. Okay, the reason why we want to do all these kind of things, even before we met the narcissist, and even after that, okay, the reason why we still hold and cherish them, okay, and hold on to them is because they've been placed in our hearts by God. Okay, I know that people who don't believe in God, who are like really hardcore atheists and who are against religion will say, yeah, and all this kind of very dismissive stuff. But no, the thing is that we know that with a narcissist, they destroy our dreams. Okay, sometimes they don't just destroy our dreams as in the aspirations and the goals. They they literally infiltrate our dream state. When we are sleeping, okay, we see certain things about them, and sometimes some of the things are the most disturbing things. Okay, I can't tell you how in my dream state, just right after the even years after they discover, I don't know if these people have actually used any witchcraft against me. Some people say that witchcraft can be in terms of intentions, ill intentions. They actually leave an energetic imprint or something in the universe or in the psychic realm, and this can manifest as dreams or even nightmares of them trying to hurt you and torment you. Okay, so it is highly possible, but you know let's not talk about these particular dreams that I had of the narcissist years back. There was a terrorist dream. There was a dream of the narcissist doing stuff like having sex with another man, and then while I was kind of like in a like a remote viewing or astral projecting kind of state. But okay, don't talk about all this. Okay, these are all just part of their posturing to try to hoover us spiritually, to create some form of damage and control over us. But guess what? The last few days, I realized there's some kind of things about our own dreams which can be spaces of healing, spaces of recovery. And why do I say that? Okay, like on not Monday, but I think Sunday night, or which would be Monday morning, I had a dream. Okay, in this dream, it was Sunday night, Monday morning, that kind of bridging period when I was sleeping. I had a dream that I was actually climbing up the circular flight of stairs, up to the top of a lighthouse. Okay, I've been to this museum. I think it's a lighthouse museum. Yeah, it was in Pohang, where they film hometown cha cha cha. So there's all these exhibits on lighthouses, and the strange thing is lighthouses actually have always something very interesting about them. Even in Australia, in I believe in, was it Hobart, yeah, Tasmania. That was where I actually saw some very interesting things about lighthouses. They are things, places to guide you and everything. So in that particular dream, the light the the flight of stairs, the circular flight of stairs, led up to the top of the lighthouse, this supposed chamber or room. But the chamber or room was really really big. It was just like as big as the attic room of a house, or even just one normal bed. I think it's probably bigger than one bedroom. Okay, it's just probably twice the size. It was really big. And then on top of that, this particular top floor building or room, okay, on the lighthouse, that was the top, which will also be the observatory or whatever. I met the ex narcissist, and the ex narcissist uh, this is the one thing that we have about them. They always claim that, oh, in certain moments, I want to reconcile with you. I'm really repentant. I'm so sorry for things that I've done. The strange thing is that in that dream, okay, I at the top of the lighthouse where I actually met the narcissist, okay, the ex-narcissist who actually created all that, PTSD, all the trauma, everything, and who really abused me verbally, emotionally, screaming at me and whatever. That narcissist claimed to be repentant and wanted to reconcile, saying, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. But guess what happened? I said, I cannot accept you back in my life or even be friends with you at all, okay? I can't have a so-called romantic relationship or whatever, and neither can I be friends with you until there's healing, okay, on both ends. But as we all know, that was my way of stalling for time to say no, okay. And then after that, I can't really remember much of what goes on. I'm assuming that in that dream, the narcissist just disappears because obviously I had done that kind of rejection. I said no, okay. And then after that, I was talking to some other people, in the lighthouse room, saying, what about talking about what I've done. I basically just rejected the narcissist in my life, okay, the ex-narcissist. So yeah, that's a very good sign because as I analyzed later on AI, I've been doing this a lot. That there's this whole idea that going out a flight of stairs to the top of building, it always indicates some form of it could be not really descent, but kind of like entry past a threshold into a state of consciousness. So there's some kind of ascension that is involved. And other than ascension, there's also the sense of self-awareness, increased self-awareness. So it basically analyzes AI basically analyze it as a form, or not a form, but kind of like a figurative or situation or an analogy of me having basically process and through rumination and therapy, everything, whatever I used to heal, I'm no longer beholden to the narcissist, the former narcissist in my life. Basically, when they come back into my life, I'm like, no. And of course, we know that narcissists in real life, they will never repent. They will never really say they are sorry. And even if they do, it's just a way of trying to manipulate us again. Okay, so that is the point. And then the funny thing is, yesterday I had this kind of like a really erratic sleeping pattern. So I was so tired today when I was actually traveling to the gym for after work, and I was sitting down the train, the subway train, and I just like kind of like almost dozed off. I closed my eyes and just almost dozed off, even while I was holding my handphone. But I kind of realized in the midst of it, because the very night before, it's not even night, it's like, the wee hours of the morning when you wake up halfway, maybe you need to go to the bathroom because you had so much water. And then, okay, I just went, and then after that, it was like, well, I can't sleep. But as I drifted into my sleep, I had another dream, okay, but it was really, really strangely comforting as a dream, okay. So in that dream, I was actually, like getting ready. It's just very strange. It's like a waking dream. I was getting ready to wake up, so I woke up. I was getting ready to go maybe to work, just as usual. So one thing is that maybe I was just trying to turn on my Google Maps or some navigation, some GPS, okay, to help me get to work. But when it switch it off, instead of the usual Google Maps or whatever, or Naver, which is in English, the thing that the AI or the map that GPS did was to indicate the neighborhood that I was in, which my apartment was in. And the apartment was actually in a Korean neighborhood of all places. I knew that it was a Korean neighborhood because that so-called GPS systems, they show you the map and everything. So that particular neighborhood, there are all this, on that system, there are all these Korean characters, and all these, buildings were all, the names of the buildings, everything was in Korean. So I knew, oh, I'm in Korea again. I'm not sure what city, but it was a Korean neighborhood, and it was like, oh, I'm back in familiar territory. So it was a kind of like a strange sense of joy. The things when I was with that particular narcissist, that narcissist in my life. Okay, that whole thing, I had to put up those narcissistic rages. People screaming, saying how nasty, all bad, or how Koreans are, and how Korea is blah blah blah, all this negative thing. I was like, you have never been to Korea before, or even you have been, you hate Koreans. So what's your issue with Koreans? Whatever. I don't want to say it, but and that when that narcissist was in my life, okay, guess what? I had to walk on eggshells. I couldn't talk about Korea, or everything was always met with so much criticism, okay, of Korea, indirectly me as well, okay, because I studied there, I lived there before, and my close circle of people, friends, everyone, are Koreans. It's very very insulting. Okay, it's like trying to insult me all at once, alongside good Koreans. And the funniest thing was that in that dream, the thing was that I woke up. Okay, the GPS was there, so I just continued, surfing that GPS system, the global positioning system. And then after that, another segment of the dream, I saw my nieces, my two youngest nieces, basically Zanis and Zandria. Okay, from my the two daughters of my youngest sister. Okay, and that that particular scene actually had the two of them in a very, a time reversal. Basically, they were way younger. It was like, when, let's say, the youngest niece Zandria had almost just turned only about maybe slightly around 1 year, or slightly younger than that, and then her sister was in kindergarten or preschool. So they were really much younger compared to now, because now they are both in like primary 1 and primary 3 or 4 respectively, so which is, I mean, elementary grade. But the whole sense of this dream, okay, I churn out the interpretation through the ChatGPT, just to analyze the dream, but I kind of knew what the meaning was, because just think about it. I'm waking up in a place, Korea had represented a lot of things for me, when I was being abused. No matter how much that particular narcissist hated Korea, and not just the narcissist, but even the person who actually, the friend of the narcissist who actually S8 me, who assaulted me, whatever. But and always, they really hated Korea and Koreans, okay, despite everything, and they were always verbally, attacking it, whatever. And then, during a point in time, when you are basically out of money, with all that financial destitution and all the financial, how should I say, vampirism or energy robbing or whatever, okay, the financial abuse, yes. Regardless of that, okay, during a point in time, I couldn't afford to actually fly to Korea. Okay, I didn't have enough money. My budget simply wasn't even allowing for, a short vacation break to somewhere nearby like Malaysia at that point in time. Guess what? I still had those, I cherished those hopes of going to Korea again, even if for just like 1 week, a few days or whatever. And in that particular, that dream, that whole idea of being waking up in a Korean neighborhood, okay, magically whatever, it was interpreted by ChatGPT and all these dream dictionaries, everything, as this: the waking up in a Korean neighborhood means that while I used to actually see the physical Korea, the physical space, that country, as something to look forward to, a place of comfort, a place of hope and peace. It gives me a lot of peace, yes, to be in Korea. It is, I mean, it's called the land of morning calm for a reason. Okay, but the fact that I actually woke up in the dream, it represents that instead of just physically going there, okay, right now I am in fact going to carry it within my inner GPS, my inner frame of mind, okay. So and at the same time, so this whole idea of guidance, finding directions in the GPS is a prevalent theme in that particular dream. So now I have that thing to guide me when I need hope, okay. It's right inside of me, okay. And not just that, on top of that, that sense of seeing my nieces, the two nieces, when they're way younger, just when, like, let's say one of them was like in kindergarten, she was just like a toddler, and the other one was just wasn't really much of a toddler but an infant, okay, who couldn't really walk yet but could at least crawl or something, okay. You get a sense that, okay, according to AI, it symbolizes that I would somehow, through this particular inner GPS, okay, that internalizes Korea and all the things that are very close to my heart, I will return again to the old me that was, maybe not even the old me, the self that was actually at least more positive, more innocent, and more full of life and cheer, okay, like before all that PTSD and all that narcissistic abuse transformed me and changed me, okay. So I just want to say, what, sometimes dreams happen for a reason. It's not just your dreams and ambitions, but even your dreams that you have, okay. I would recommend that for anyone who has had all these dreams. I'm pretty sure that after narcissistic abuse, you can't, for some people, you can't just exactly be just like sleeping your day away, whatever. I'm sure that some of you have had some dreams and nightmares. Sometimes it could be dreams and nightmares of the narcissist or whatever. I'm not saying go back to them, please don't go back to them, it's so dangerous. But let's just say that if you have a dream that involves something, it could be the narcissist, or sometimes it might not even involve the narcissist. It could involve something that you really, really cherish. Please take note of that. Write down, journal your dreams, and then, yes, if you can, analyze it and find out what it really means about you, okay. I'm pretty sure, nowadays we don't just have dream dictionaries, don't just have AI apps like ChatGPT, whether DeepSeek or whatever. Just analyze all these themes, all these motifs that comes out and the patterns. You could be surprised that in the process, these dreams could be telling you about yourself, what you really cherish, what you are processing, what you're ruminating over, and it could be a part of your healing journey, okay. So I'm after these two dreams, the one on Sunday night and then the one that was just like yesterday night, I almost felt as if, like, I'm very comforted, because right now it means that actually I'm really, after 9 years from that narcissistic abuse. I hate it when like the narcissist is constantly, even now, still trying to copy me, and from afar I'll do things and trying to prove, oh, I'm better than you, Kevin, and all this. It's like, what is that to prove to these people? I don't care. And then I just remember that I was telling my psychologist about my dreams and everything. She said, are you sure that you want to compete in this she said, I am very concerned. She said, I'm concerned because you said that you're going to compete in something like a fitness and bodybuilding show or whatever, but this particular narcissist was like saw you as a rival, copy you and everything, okay. She was talking about one of the few narcissists in my life, but this one particular one loves to copy me and compete against me. It was like, this copycat narcissist, what's wrong with them? But she said, are you going to end up in the same competition, the same federation? I said, I don't think so. That particular one was in a competition in another federation like a few months ago, and I don't think at such short notice, unless, I mean, of course they are on steroids and everything, they could always do whatever they want, but this is another federation, and this other federation is never really exactly on good terms with the other one that narcissist competes in. So but one thing is this: we don't owe it to them. I don't owe it to these people, okay. And I don't really care about these people. The main thing is I want my dreams. My dreams are there. they indicate my kind of healing and how I'm supposed to move to my next stage in life. And the strange thing is that even ChatGPT, when it's analyzing my whole rites of passage, all this this kind of developmental stages of my own healing journey, one of the few things that he actually analyzed was that, considering that I actually have been making a number of pilgrimages. Okay, the first pilgrimage I made was in around late 2023 into early 2024, 2024. That was to Georgia and Armenia. Okay, so that was to the Caucasus Mountains area. And then in late let's say late December 2024, in leading into 2025 in January, I was in Greece. I was in this it was considered a pilgrimage or cultural tour merged in one. So I was in Athens, Thessaloniki, and where else? Heraclion, and Crete. So obviously the next time I'll be going to stuff like other places like Rhodes or whatever. But the strange thing was that the way ChatGPT analyzed it was that the next trip that you should go, I will know that I'm really almost fully healed from this narcissistic abuse. The residual effects of PTSD when I have actually landed in a place on my pilgrimage, and then instead of just being there, whatever, taking pictures of the place, there will be a picture of me at the place, okay, in the cathedral, in the church, the Orthodox cathedral. The picture will be of me praying or making some ministrations or prostrations or whatever as a part of my faith journey, okay. And then of course the other things, such as doing things like let's say he also projected the thing about me going to places I haven't really gone to yet in Korea, although I've been there more than like 17 I would say maybe even 18 times, 9 or 19 times, I can't really count. But one of them was like going to Dadepo Beach in Busan, or wearing hanbok and then walking on the streets of Seoul in hanbok, okay. I haven't done that yet. I've actually taken pictures in hanbok, which is the native ethnic costume of Korea, but I haven't really walked the streets in just hanbok. I should try doing that, yeah. So there are all these different, they're called markers, physical markers of the inner healing, and I think it's very good to actually set this particular target. I'm going to do this to tell myself, what, I've recovered. The narcissists and all these narcissists, whatever they say, whatever they do, they are of no consequence to us, to me, okay. So I just want to offer this kind of encouragement to people out there. We have a life after narcissistic abuse. We can thrive, we can dream, okay. So continue to dream, chart your dreams, okay. Not just your goals and aspirations, but also the dreams that you have, okay. They might point you out to somewhere, to where you really want to go, okay. So have a good one, everyone. Bye bye.